Hello everybody, I'm Christine Leculiard from the Henry Stewart team. I'm in charge of all the content of the DAM agendas, and I am delighted to be sitting here with David Lipsey, who is the chair of DAM New York, coming up. And it's going to be a pleasure to have a few moments with you, David, just to chat about DAM generally and DAM New York in particular. And we're about to celebrate 20 years of DAM New York, quite a big anniversary. And you, David Lipsey, has seen a lot of change in the DAM space. So can you just share one or two little snippets and highlights and key milestones that have shaped the conference over the years?
Well, I think it's both delightful and fun to think about the fact that when DAM started, it started with this idea to take something that had been, in that case, published and make it useful for a second time without re-keying that same bit of publication. So this idea of create once, use many now has 20 years of amplification, growth, diversification, and meaning to it that truly does fall, I think, in the category of who would have ever imagined that from its earliest days when we did meet in New York City 20 years ago to begin to explore what does it mean to be able to repurpose largely at that time content, and which is where the roots of DAM were certainly affirmed in the publishing and the studio and broadcasting world, and not too long thereafter in the corporate world.
How has DAM New York managed to consistently deliver value for attendees since its first ever show?
I think as both of us work hard to tune the program, we listen very carefully to what the trends are in digital asset management, and we try to find those magic points where we're affirming what we know, we're examining the horizons of what seems new and may or may not last, and we're also doing a little bit of experimentation about how do we learn together as a field like digital asset management continues to evolve. For example, we now have immersive workshops in topics of common interest. That's new. A few years ago, not so sure that that would have had much meaning or much attention. Also, the field of DAM is growing exponentially. We're at a delightful point of essentially no unemployment in this field. So we have to make sure that the conference welcomes the new professionals, and we're so excited about that, who are coming into the field of digital asset management. Professional joining companies, joining not-for-profits and mission organizations, as well as going to work for vendors. And as we know, all are welcome, and all will know more after their time with us here in New York.
What are the key themes, David, and topics that attendees can take away from this year's gathering? We
have some excellent focus, as one would probably not be too terribly surprised to know, on the many variations of AI and its meaning for DAM. And what does it mean as a DAM leader to have to assess the complexities of AI, its ethical use, its practical uses, and we have a number of both panel sessions and direct presentations to explore how do I, as a DAM professional, ethically discharge the use of this technology when it is the subject of so much attention and a little over hype cycle, we might say, or over the hype cycle. And we're paying very strict attention to that in the programming. We're looking thoroughly at the digital shelf operations, and the relationship building with our marketing partners internally, our agency partners externally, and others who make the digital shelf come alive every day, whether we're shopping online or whether we as consumers are doing digital research before going to a brick and mortar store. So the conference tuning pays a lot of attention to what are the latest tools in metadata, what is going on with AI and generative assets, but always in the context of we're the DAM professionals. We're the point of adjudication and judgment about can we use this in our organizations or in our companies? And if so, how do I advocate for some time to test? Just the way we test a new product. bringing something as tentatively unwieldy or even a little questionable as some of the AI tools demands of us as professionals that we know how to manage this. And we want everyone who comes to New York to have the opportunity to go through that reflection and develop both that confidence and the insights about how do I put this to work correctly for my company.
What are your DAM predictions? This is a hard one probably, David, for you, to get around for the next 2 decades. Oof.
Well, there's an interesting question. I think that if I start with some of the forthcoming indefinite time things, 2 decades, thanks Christine for that, I would say that that there will be much more actionable data within an asset, so that an action calling on an asset may trigger other actions. A second trend that I see is I think much important data that's kept in the DAM system will become objects of value in and of themselves. That DAM is seen as part of the data ecosystem that operates within an organization or a private sector company. And the knowledge that our DAM professionals are also managing data for the ecosystem emerges as more paramount than we might think of it today. A trend that I hope we'll see is that DAM becomes just a way of thinking throughout an organization. And it becomes more, we, if you will, we become more and more managing an enterprise-grade utility, and it kind of operates like a utility. And you might have hot water on the 8th floor, and you might have it on the 4th floor. And the 4th floor might be ESG operations, it might be marketing, the 8th floor might be creative operations, the 7th floor might be investor relations, and I want a whole floor, speaking of trends, where our customer service colleagues, people who have to answer questions, have ready, steady, instant access to rich media and DAM. So if you don't like something about a piece of clothing that you just bought, you can send a picture. They can use AI within their DAM to compare product defects and get back and develop a relationship with the customer. Maybe you even get a coupon to boot, who knows. So I see some of those things where DAM will be opening up, and we're certainly tuning the New York conference so we're enabling this ever wider embrace of DAM, and where DAM just becomes, in a way, a shadow or an infrastructure application that enables the operations, and it becomes a relationship of thinking, not just an operation of, oh, I know where the logo is. Yes, we love all of that, but we want the operational aspects to be thought of as, hey, can DAM help me with that? And I don't know what all those things are going to be, but I know they're coming. I know they'll be different. And in the same way that we went for a decade with no iPhones at DAM New York, who knows 10 years from now what doodad we'll be holding. It will be something. As digital, the meaning of digital enablement, digital engagement continues to change and evolve. That's our guarantee, is that we'll be there to help answer those questions about what's next. And that's my favorite question about DAM.
David, thank you so much for sparing a few moments to have this discussion. It's always a pleasure.
Always a delight, Christine.
To have a chat with you. So thank you, everybody, and we look forward to seeing you in September, DAM New York.